Hey guys, welcome to another episode of California Ant Keeper. Today we're going to be attaching a 20-gallon Outworld to my Novomessor cockerelli colony, which is quickly outgrowing their Outworld. But first, let's do an update on my Acromyrmex versicolor queens. Here's a shot of when I first showed you guys my queens a couple weeks ago. The fungus has grown quite substantially since then. Here, take a look. And here's the day after. It's growing really quickly now, but this queen quickly exhausted herself. She also laid many eggs into her fungus pile, but unfortunately I found her dead a few inches away from her fungus the next day. So I didn't want her fungus to go to waste, so I gave it to the queen that was doing the second best. And after only 24 hours, the new queen merged the two fungi into one fungus pile. My only concern with this queen is I don't know if she's fertile. The one that died was, but I don't know if this queen will continue to lay eggs and have more workers. But as you can see, the eggs have hatched into larvae and they're getting quite large, so at least she'll have her first set of workers for sure. And as of today, this is what her fungus looks like. But enough of the acromyrmex, let's talk about the 20-gallon tank. I started off with a 20-gallon tank, and I filled the bottom with foam in a can, so that way I could lay a foundation that would be light for the grout to go on top. I hot glued some chicken wire to the back wall so that the grout would have foundation to hold on to. Then I poured the grout in and I put some dirt on top and let it dry. After the back wall dried, I repeated the same process with the floor of the new Outworld. And this is how it looked while it was curing in the sun. This Outworld has been put together now for about 6 months, so I'm naturally excited that I actually finally get to use it. I'm estimating that my Novomessor cockerelli colony is at about 1,500 workers. And in each of those clumps that you can see here, there's a few hundred workers. And this is only just one side of the nest, so what you see there's pretty much double of. So I just connected it and they're not running in right away. And I also put a few live mealworms in there and some nectar just to try to entice them to go in. Alright, they're finally slowly starting to make their way in. They're being very cautious. I really wasn't expecting this because this species is really aggressive, so I thought they would run in. So now it looks like they're forming a little fan formation and they're playing it very safe. So again, I was really not expecting this. I thought they would go in just attacking everything. More and more are slowly starting to come in, but they still haven't made it all the way across to the other side where the nectar is yet. And looks like they're just exploring their new outworld. But it does look like they're enjoying it. And then they discovered the mealworms. That's one thing I really like about this species is they're very aggressive and they're not afraid to take on a mealworm by themselves. But they do better when there are a lot more workers to help them take down the food. I don't normally do live feedings. Normally I cut up the mealworms, but I thought if there was live mealworms, they would be a little bit more aggressive in entering the tank. The main reason I don't like to do live feedings is because that you'll inevitably have some dead workers after the battle is over. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes since I attached the tank, and they don't seem so much as interested in exploring anymore as they do the hunt. So they really want food and they really want these mealworms now. This is one species where it's almost impossible to overfeed them. They always have larvae sitting there waiting to be fed. And the more you feed them, the faster this colony will grow. And as of this month, this colony is a year old. But man, they're really starting to pour into the outworld now. It's really surprising me because I honestly didn't realize this colony was this huge until today. If I would have known that this colony could fill up this whole entire outworld already, I probably would have attached the tank months ago. So I normally don't do barriers in my outworlds, but this colony I don't want escaping into my house, so I put an olive oil barrier around the top before I put the ants in. I also put clear packing tape at the top of each corner so I could put it over the silicone so that way they couldn't climb over it. And I put the olive oil over the tape. Alright, so we're about an hour in. They swarmed all the feeders, so I decided to put a couple more in. You could see 2 have water in it and 1 had nectar. And then I added another one even after that. And the larva is already going to town on these mealworms. Here's the old outworld, and as you can see, it's pretty empty. And I'm kind of debating on actually removing it, to be honest. All right, guys, thanks for joining me on another episode of California Ant Keeper. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so already. I appreciate it so much. And thank you for all the people that support my channel. See you guys next time, guys.